Aloha! I'm Susan from Living in Power Today, and I want to talk about something real today on Unmasked and Unashamed. So, unsolicited advice from online marketers. That's what we're talking about. When marketers cross the line, and why I blocked them and kept my joy. So, especially the ones who come into your comment section pretending to be helpful until they're not. If you've ever felt pressured to do things someone else's way or questioned about your own path because someone online said you were doing it wrong, this one's for you. So, yeah, I recently had a marketer comment on one of my videos. She had been a regular for a couple of posts, 3 or 4 posts. I think this was her 4th post. And excuse my puppy dog's squeak in the background, but he's having an anxiety attack, so I'm not redoing this today. So at first, they were polite and they seemed really supportive, but then the tone changed. They told me I was doing YouTube all wrong. They said I needed to contact them so I could be a success like everyone else. Now, here's the thing. As an autistic adult, and I know a lot of my community here can relate to this, we are highly sensitive to unasked for criticism, especially when it's very pointed. So many of us have spent a lifetime, being told to mask, told to change, and, to compare ourselves to others. I used to fall in that too, especially when I started this channel. I thought I needed to perform like the big names, go all out. And it took so much time and I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to do it my way. And, to do what everyone else was doing just to be taken seriously, but then, during 2020 in the thick of COVID, I had lost a really great friend, 2 of my family members, which I am the last member of the family left, of the original family. And, I sat deeply depressed, feeling I failed in life because all of those moments came rushing back, like grief. The grief will do it to you. And then we had COVID where we were isolated and I had nothing to do but sit in that grief and think about it. And so, after going through all that emotional turmoil, beating myself up, and then having a breakthrough, that I came to realizing that being compared to others was a toxic family trait that I grew up with, and it was extremely harmful as I was growing up. And of course, I pushed it down and ate all my feelings. And it's extremely harmful to this day. So I was writing. I really started the thick of writing during that. And I think I wrote like 20 coaching books and training manuals. I was just writing. And so I was writing about joy and what would steal your joy. And that popped right in my head, that comparison, that I lived with. I drank, ate, and breathed throughout my whole life. And it still, it grounded me then. And this quote still grounds me today. And for a split second, I did let that marketer steal my joy. I did allow her criticism to live in my head for a bit, and I wanted to quit. I just wanted to quit. But that was only for a second. Then I blocked them because I am the queen of blickety block, baby. And I took my joy back. Um, but just like you, having many styles of being me and expressing them differently, having millions of interests, way too many, more than I can ever uh, explore in a lifetime. Um, these are all the styles of me, and I love them all. And I want to say something directly to my followers, especially those of you who've been compared your whole lives, told you should be more like someone else. Maybe you should be more like your sister or your brother or your aunt or your mother, whoever, the next door neighbor, the kid at school. Oh, Jesus. More successful, more neurotypical is what they want to say. More whatever. Um, you don't need to change your essence to be valuable. You don't need to follow someone else's blueprint to be successful. Look out here on the internet. Look here on YouTube. Oh my gosh, there are so many different styles. People just turning on their camera and talking. Now that's freaking comfort. I would love to get to that place where I could just feel comfortable doing that. And I'm almost there. Look at me. I'm in this little circle. But one day, I'll be able to get the real streaming software and you can see my whole face. Right now, I'm working with what I've got. And you don't need to be anyone else. Success is being in alignment with yourself. Success is having peace while doing what you love. And success is showing up fully as you are with your rhythm, your style, and your voice. So if you've ever been shamed by an online helper who didn't ask to understand you first, you're not alone. Protect your peace, block if you need to take your joy back, and do it. This space, the Living Empowered Today space, is for folks like us who are building lives on our terms, not someone else's algorithm, right? Thank you for being here. If this resonated with you today, drop a comment below and let me know how you reclaim your joy when people try to steal it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you in this community of radical, empowered self-acceptance. See you in the next video. Aloha.